Welcome to the RTFG Podcast, your chill space at the start of the week. We are your hosts, JP, Freddie B, and Boosie the Big Bear. Kick back, relax, and join us as we cover any and all topics. And remember, check your BS at the door.
Good evening, everybody, bro. It's good to see y'all again. How y'all doing this Sunday, man?
Doing good, bro. Chill. Happy to be here, guys, man.
Happy Palm Sunday, good people.
Blessed, man. Blessed. Straight blessed to be here, man.
Yeah, welcome RTFG family, man. We got a special episode for y'all this Sunday. We got our guest for once. We got our boy KJ all the way back from college, all the way back from them A&M days, bro. KJ, say what's up to the people.
What's up, y'all, man? My name KJ. I'm here with my bros, man. Glad to see what they doing with their podcast and stuff, man. We're going to get to it today.
Yeah, I feel that. So let's get straight to it. So, today's topic, we're going to be talking about pretty much coming of age, you could say. So, I thought it'd be pretty cool for all of us. We've been through some, pretty colorful experiences through our 25, 26 years of life. And I think it'd be pretty cool just, for us to talk about some of the highlights of our journey of growing up and becoming the men we are today. And I think I can set the floor just by starting myself. So, like I said, we all have been through a lot. And I know people listening, we all human. We all go through a certain level of things in life. And I feel like for me, that something that was like pretty recent for me was that, I grew up in Alabama. And I left Alabama in 2019 to come to Virginia for my first career. So I know at face value, it doesn't seem super big, but for me at the time, it was big because I'm a small town country boy, man, went to school in Huntsville, Alabama at Alabama A&M University. And I had left the state a few times every here and there, but I never left the state to live permanently. So you could say that, my experience was a bunch of firsts, man. And let me just break down the stuff I had to go through, right? So, the times I had been to the DMV prior years, I had flew up there. So, man, you leave about hour and a half, 2 hour flight, man. This was the first time in my life that I actually had to drive long distance. And that's not no small distance, man. That's 700 miles, about a good 11, 12 hours, depending on how much you want to, feather that motor, man. So for me, man, I was up here pumping myself man, I got it, bro. I know how to drive, bro. I ain't scared of no road trip. And then, got to the week of, right? And I was like, man, I don't really know about this road trip. So let me tell you, people. I was out here, I had my little baby Yvette. If you don't know, Yvette was my 2006 GMC Yukon fresh out the lot. And, like a 2006 Yukon, she had a little bit of issues. She was mature for her age, right? So she decided, to blow the motor soon, like a week or two before I had to leave, man. And I'm freaking out because I have to literally rebuild my motor or get a whole new motor in my truck before I leave on this road trip. So I was already anxious. That made it 10 times worse, man. Cause I was like, I ain't never had engine problems in my life with any cars I had, but I blew a rod straight through my engine block. I don't know how I did it, bro. I hit a right turn onto a main street, boom, instantly. So, I go, find your local shade tree mechanic as we do in Alabama. Then, go seep out my truck. I get it done, ready for my road trip, man. So, I'm up here the night of, I can't even sleep, right? I'm talking about, I'm up here. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of wish I knew about melatonin back then. That probably would have helped me out, boy. I'm up here, zooted, just off of anxiety, bro. I can't even sleep. It's 4 a.m. I gotta leave at 6. And I only slept about 4 hours, bro. I'm about to do this 11-hour road trip, man. So, I hop in the truck, man. I kiss my family goodbye. So I set out on this trip, bro. When I tell you, bro, I was so scared on this trip because, one, I ain't never left the state of Alabama, like I said, by myself on a trip like this. Because I'm up here driving 700 miles on a truck that I'm not even 100% sure if I can fully rely on because it's an older vehicle. And then, if my engine blow up, that means that something probably else going wrong that we probably ain't caught just yet. And the chances of this happening on this long stretch test of a trip is kind of high, in my opinion. So, first 2 hours, I'm cool. I'm getting a little bit of the groove. I'm coming out of Alabama, going into Tennessee. I'm straight, man. Then, 2 hours pass. About 4 hours in, I'm by the mountains of Tennessee. Tell me why I see my check engine light turn on, bro. And I know we, as, people not that far removed from college, that seeing your check engine light ain't that big of a deal. But I ain't never seen it flash personally. And I just have a good idea that wasn't a good thing. So I'm already, in the foothills of Tennessee, like, man, I don't know, bro. I'm like too far away to turn around, but too far gone to even like ask for help for real for people I know. I just kind of out there, man. And I'll tell you, bro, I was out here with the faith of a mustard seed up here trying to make sure that this truck don't blow up on me out here and get stuck. But, I was able to make it to Virginia in about a good, I say about 10, 11 hours like that. I ain't take no breaks for real, but said I had to stop for gas. Oh, and don't get me started. I forgot to mention that the week before I left, my fuel pump went out, so I didn't even know how much gas I had in my truck. I just filled up till the pump told me to stop, and I was counting miles in my head.
A hope and a pray.
Oh yeah, bro. Everybody good 200, 250. I'm like, boy, I'm guessing that's about a quarter 10. Let me go ahead and pull over real quick.
You put 20 enough.
Yeah, let me go ahead. I'll tell you, bro, I had so much stuff happening, and I'm saying all this because as I look back on it, I laugh at it because, like I said, it was horrible of a trip, but it really made me have to grow up, bro. That was literally like, like, Brady, bro, you ain't no child no more. You really being a full-fledged adult because you have to deal with adversity. You ain't got no one to bail you out. Like, 8 hours into a road trip, man. I'm like in the southern part of Virginia pretty much at this point. There's no turning back, bro. If my car break down, I'm on my own. But
hey, you make a wrong turn, you in the next wrong turn, bro.
Oh yeah. Like, we go, bro. You out here. But I will say that my anxiety calmed down because it was kind of like an acceptance. Like it was almost like, man, you know what? If it happened to me, bro, I just hope it happened to me quick at this point. And but like I said, I made it to the DMV, like Northern Virginia, bro. I made it there in about 11 hours, and I was cool after that point, bro. But like when I actually touched down in the DMV, I kind of look back at that trip. I had to give Yvette, I had to give her flowers. That baby, you had a long trip, that hard ride. You get about 2 days of rest. You need to rest up. But like I said, I had grew up so much in a one road trip, man. Like it was really crazy, bro. It was so many firsts I had to overcome. But the fact that I overcame it, bro, it made me way more confident in myself. I'm like, okay, I actually can handle these things, So, that's my little story, bro. I always like telling people that because it's a little funny to me. But again, I feel like stories like this, all of us have something that, we can talk about things we've done that's like, almost like that coming of age kind of story.
For sure, man. Thinking back when you said the fuel pump, you couldn't see how much gas you had in your truck. That reminded me of my Jeep when I was in high school. We used to nickel and dime. That's something good. And every 2 days, I ain't never know where I was at. But you run out of gas 1 or 2 times on the side of the road. The gas station, every chance you get, you put about 5 to 10 in there.
Oh man. For me, I'll say my coming of age really because for people that know it not, me and my Tiz used to live together before he moved to Virginia. My coming of age for me was really going into the adult world on my own and having to pay bills by yourself. For anybody that's under the age of 21 or they still got their parents helping them and yada yada woo woo, adulting is ghetto as fuck. I'll just say that now. Because you sitting up here, you got to pay rent, you got utilities, you got to buy groceries, you got to get gas. And you sitting up here, at least for me at the time, I was still doing the school thing at the time when that happened. Bruh, you sitting up here, you trying to manage that and you trying to pay bills or whatnot. And it for me, it was a lot. It was a lot of a mental hurdle because for the simple fact that I'm trying to manage school, I'm trying to pay bills, but at the end of the day, school is at the forefront. So I'm just sitting up here like, I'm fine, but I'm not fine. So for me, getting through that whole process and get to the point where I am now, like that showed a lot of growth. Because for me, at the time, it was stressing me out. Even though I'm a person that really doesn't show like stress a lot because, I try not to let things bother me. But like now I just feel like, I can handle anything, so that's just my little thing.
Yeah, man, I understand that. That's all parallel to one of my coming of age stories. It's something that just recently happened, and it's going back about being an adult and adulting. This can get repetitive as I don't know what, man. It's week in and week out. You going to work, and you coming back just to simply pay bills. And I'm a salaried employee, and I'm lucky enough to have, a paid 2 weeks off out of a whole year, which is not a lot of time. You see what I'm saying? So just being in that mindset of, oh yeah, I got to work this week. I come back, enjoy 2 days off, and just to pay egregious amount of bills the following month. And if something go wrong, like if you have an emergency room visit or something like that, nobody else pitching in, man. You just got to find the money to get it paid. Because personally, one of my emergency room visits was like $1,400, but I didn't have that kind of money set up. So I'm a person that like cushion. I like cushioning at least one of my bank accounts. So I had them a saving, but I try to spend. If I'm spending money, it always come out of my checking. So just getting hit with a $1,400 bill for spending freaking 2 hours in the emergency room, that threw me out, and it just kind of showed, man, adultery is stupid. that's just honest. Because you about health insurance and all that, and you look into it. These health insurance don't pay for nothing. They just get you discounts. They don't really pay for anything unless you hit that deductible, which is could be, for me, it's like $3,000. But for other folks, it's lower than that. Good for you. But unless I pay $3,000, they ain't paying a penny. And at the time, I was a single person. I ain't had nobody else. I wasn't doing no regular doctor checkups. So I ain't have small expenses stacking up. So they going to let me pay a $1,400 bill from the emergency room. Then check this. The medicine they use in the emergency room, they charged me for that 2 times. So I had to pay $500 on that one. And at the end of the year, when I paid $3,000, they would be like, hey, guess what? Your next urgent care, we got that. Wow. So, yeah, just responsibility. That's the biggest thing. And in college, Montez, matter of fact, all 4 of us stayed together. But Montez, Freddie and Boosie, we had got an apartment. So, we always had a reminder. If a bill coming up, hey, we got to get the money together. We got to pay that. But when you on your own, you just got to remember that all the time. And auto pay, that's a good thing. But also auto pay puts you in a bad situation.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Say if you have a splurge weekend, you just throw $400. You ain't got $400 to put on lights and rent, my boy.
You feel me?
But yeah, that's one big thing. But going to college, I had some run-ins that kind of changed my view on life. And the big one I want to share with y'all, RTFG family, everybody here. It was at the time I was president of a Wildland Firefight Club. That sounds crazy off rip because I'm black. We keep doing firefight. I know. Yeah, I can argue for that, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. But I was the president of the club, and we did volunteer prescribed burns, things like that. What that essentially is, we make a plan and we'll burn a person's property for them, no charge. But I was heading to a place called, I think it was Greensboro, Alabama. It's country. I'm gonna tell you country. I'm talking about when you pass through a white neighborhood, the white folk looking at their eyebrows raised. It was that kind of country. But that's where the house was at. So I'm passing through looking for the house. I done passed the house about 3 times because it's on top of a hill. I ain't see it. And I passed the truck the first time I passed the house. It was a guy working for the water company. And I passed him. I came back past the house again, passed him again. So I guess in his head, he thought I was up to no good. So he started telling me, if that was not the worst feeling in my life, I can tell you, because it was probably about a year after the whole Trayvon Martin situation with George Zimmerman and all that. And dude walked away free, basically trying to do a civil arrest and all that. So that was going through my head. What if this guy tried to pull something like that? So he ended up telling me back to Montez when I said the wrong turn. It was a dead end for me. And there wasn't no two good words. So I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and get ahead of it. So I cracked my door open. I'm like, hey, if he bought it, I'm gonna open my door because he ain't about to get no free shot. He might shoot him, him in the jaw though. It ain't coming like that. But he ended up passing by and he turned around he parked, so I ended up getting a call from the landowner. He let me know he stayed. It gave me some good directions this time. I made it up though. And probably about 10 minutes later, guess who I see? This water meter guy with the police right behind him. He accused and I'm a thief. And I could not talk if I seen just how that officer was looking at me. I could not go to him, talk man to man, because he would not believe me. I had to get the white landowner to go down there and tell the officer I was not a thief. At that point, I had came to true realizations. At that point, I was, I think, a junior in college. And I was a person that said, I don't see no need for me to carry a gun in my car. But the feel I felt being cornered in a dead end by a guy that did not know me, had no idea. He just thought I was a thief. And at that point, I thought, man, yeah, from now on, that next week, I talked to my brother. Me and him went and bought me a gun. And so that changed that. And the second point it is, always be aware of the situations you put yourself in. I was just doing this out of the kindness of my heart. And I ended up getting put in a situation like that. And that I ain't have nobody to bail me. I had no service. If anything went wrong, I could have just been a body on the side of the street, another black man on the side of the street. Mm-hmm. But at that point, it was like, hey, make sure you always aware of your situations and make sure you always got a way out.
Facts. Shit, that just sounds scary right there, bro. Just blessed to get up out that situation is enough.
For sure, man. Like what I took from all y'all stories, man, it's kind of like just hear what y'all was saying. It kind of made me relate to my stories like a little bit. Like so, like recently, kind of one thing that made me like really come of age. It's really just when I had lost my job. Like I had lost my job like recently, like in the past like 2 months. I think it was like right before Christmas, like that December 1st maybe. And then, it made me wake up and realize like I don't really have my life together. Like I'm 25, but I really don't have a lot of stuff together because I barely had any savings. Like I was really, scraping by. I was trying to hit Instacart, DoorDash, all that, but it went like it still wasn't enough. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, my car, it was about to go out and stuff like that. And so then, like it just made me feel like I was in like a bad like kind of like depression for a minute because I was just like, man, like is this junk gonna stop? But then I had to realize like, as a man, everything that happened to me is my fault, because like I put myself in that position. I didn't have no savings because I chose to go, spend my money and do this and that with it and whatever with it, you know, and that woke me up and I was just like, I really got to get it together. So then, just fast forwarding a little bit, I was hiding it because you know what I'm saying, I'm about to lose my apartment and everything. I'm like, dang, I was trying to hide it from my parents, from people, but it be that pride, you know what I'm saying? You don't be want to ask for help, and J. Cole got a song called "Pride Is the Devil," and that really like that's a song that kind of really like spoke to me because I was just like, I'm one of them people that kind of like let my pride get in the way because I'll be like, I can do it. I'm like one of the people like I can do it. I can do it. That's something I'm trying to work on now. But I let that kind of get in the way, and it almost got to the point where I lost my career. But I had asked, I told my mama and my daddy, and fortunately, they was able to help me and stuff, and that kind of like made me put in the mindset of like, we men and we don't want to ask for help, but sometimes you gotta ask for help, when you ain't really got it like that. Even when you doing stuff and it's not working, sometimes you just gotta ask for that help, and then like everything started kind of going smooth. And then, I had got a new job and the pay, it was it looked decent on paper. It looked good on paper, but when you actually got to work and we like, this is like the work we doing is equivalent to $12 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like from what, I was getting paid cuz like you was getting paid like 16, but at the same time, the amount of hours you getting, it ain't even equivalent to $16 an hour. So that kind of set me back there too. And then I was like, oh man. Then I thought I lost my social security card. And then I was like, I was like, oh my God, like, what is really going on? Thankfully, somebody found it, you know what I'm saying? But like, I was just like, I really got to get it together now. So then, the opportunity was presented to me, to go to trucking school. Now, this been presented to me in the past, but I just never really kind of took it serious. I was just like, I don't want to be on the road, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it was just like I kind of just looked into it and actually like, looked into what's going on in that industry and how do people make money and stuff this way and what they're doing. I talked to a couple people, about what they doing, and so that really got me interested in it. So I actually start tomorrow. So like I'm on the way up there tomorrow. So like, to go do my training and stuff. So that just recently, yeah, that's one thing I had to do, just to man up, just to put myself in a position to have my finances in order and stuff like that. Cause like, it made me look like I'm 25 now, so it made me look like, in the next 5 years, I want to be set. That way, if I do have a family, I don't plan on having kids. Well, I'm like 32, but I mean, like, if I do have a family, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah, I feel
it's
you. I feel you.
I want everything to be set. Just put it like that. And then first and foremost for myself, I want to be set. So yeah, that's just basically one of my like coming of age moments.
Yeah, I got
Hey,
you, bro.
KJ, if you don't mind, can you tell the folks like where you stay at now versus where that job or where this training gonna happen
Oh,
at?
well, I stay in Montgomery, Alabama now, and the training is in Missouri. So I got hired on through this company called Prime, and so they pay for your CDL for you to do your CDL through them. Whereas like it's a lot of different ways you can go through to get your CDL. Like, you can get it for free actually. You can go through like the unemployment office and they can get it for you for free. But I just chose that way because I'd be, going through a company. So I just chose that way.
Yeah, so man, I ain't gonna lie, your story can be the golden story for a lot of people out here. Cause
Mm-hmm.
when you down bad and you looking for a way out, and pride might get in the way. You don't want to ask for help. But you said J. Cole pride is the devil. I think about Bill Willis, lean
Yeah.
on me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else been in that situation, they willing to help you out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot of folks down right now, and they looking around like, oh man, I ain't got no job around here and everything. They just got to shift their mindset the same way you did. You might not have a job in Montgomery, but you ain't stuck in Montgomery. You got feet. We got folks willing to train you, who willing to move. Like Montez, he had moved from Alabama all the way up to Virginia. Boosie was looking to go to Oregon from Alabama. So if you just change your mindset, if I ain't got to be stuck in this same state or area for the rest of my life, opportunities will come to you. That's
For
just
sure.
honest.
Yeah, and before we move too far away from it, KJ, I just want to say congratulations, man, bro.
Yeah,
I think
man.
we
Yeah,
can speak
drive
for all
Thank
safe
three
you,
of you,
on,
man.
bro.
bro.
Yeah,
We all agree,
congrats.
but we proud of you, bro. You always been like a little brother on this, man.
Appreciate it,
And
man.
it's good to see everything working out for you, bro.
Man, I just want to say congrats and
For
keep
sure.
growing.
Appreciate it,
For
dog.
real. Just keep growing. Keep becoming the person you want to
For
be.
sure. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and I appreciate everybody, willing to be open about everybody's life experiences, man. 'Cause I know for sometimes, it'd be hard to be real transparent about what we be going through on a daily or just over the years, bro. I think it's important, bro, that we can have moments like this as men to just be like, hey, bro, we all be going through some shit, but we made it out on the other end. But to piggyback on this earlier topic, I do want to ask all y'all, like, when it comes to being a man, what does that mean for you? Because, like, for me, pretty much, it's like, if I want to kind of like paraphrase, like I'm gonna put it like on a shirt or something, it's pretty much like, as a man, I feel like you gotta stand by what you mean, bro. Like if I tell you that I got you, that means I got you. Like, cause at the end of the day, bro, all we got is our word, amen. So, that's just like what it means to me. I try my hardest, bro. That if I say I'm gonna do right by somebody, I do it. If I say I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna do it, man. Cause I ain't gonna waste my breath saying I'm gonna do something if I have no intentions of going out of my way to do it. But that's just me.
For me, this is what I say. And I'm going to be blunt when I say this. To be a man, I'll say this. Try to be the best version of yourself. Own your shit, which is pretty much, be honest with yourself. Don't sit up here and try to beat around the bush. If you see a problem that you have within yourself, be honest about it. Because if you keep lying to yourself about something that you got going on, the only person that you hurt is yourself and anybody that really cares about you, which I'm pretty sure most of y'all don't want to hurt that person. So just be yourself, own your shit, and just keep trying to get better every day.
You know, my thoughts of being a man is essentially being a provider, guy, dog. What can I provide for myself? Can I provide for my loved ones and my future family? That's because right now I'm the only married man in this group, and my mindset has shifted to that. I need to be the provider, and I ain't saying all men gotta be wearing the pants and all that, but you need to have your shit together when it come down to it. You can't be, when the cars fall, you gotta have somebody pick them bitches back up. You can't just be down on the ground with everybody else. That was being a man is.
For sure. Like one quote I heard, like if you'd have seen the movie Paid in Full, like Mitch was like, a real man handles his business. So like that's really what I think. Like, men should strive to do is just like handle your shit. Like for real. Like when it's something like that comes up, handle it right then and there. Don't try to wait on it. Don't try to be like, because it's gonna form into a big ball of problems. Like like soon as you see one little flaw, don't let it turn into the biggest red flag. To where it's just waving in the air. Like just handle whatever it is right there. Like whether it comes to finances, disrespect, and there's plenty of different ways you can handle disrespect, like being a man. But when it comes to just anything, in general, like handle it right then and there. Just don't wait on it. That's how I feel like, being a man should be.
So I think it's interesting though that like all four of us gave our thoughts on what it is to be a man, but I do feel like even though our points were different, that there was like kind of this similar theme, which all of us kind of mentioned about responsibility and accountability, right? And I feel like if you kind of try to base your life around those themes, I feel like as a man you really can't go wrong. And at the same time, though, I think it also is very important to preface that, at least in my honest opinion, that I feel that when it comes to being a man, it's not a linear path, or it's not always going to be one, man. All of us had our stories. We all had ups and downs, man. But as long as you making progress, even if you making just a step, was that further than where you were yesterday? Because I feel like as men, man, like, I don't think we give ourselves enough credit sometimes for the progress we do make. I know I'm wholeheartedly guilty of that. That I could have been moved mountains like Saturday, by Sunday I act like I ain't do it. And honest, at least for me, I'd be trying to be humble about it, but it is a little, problematic because like, you can kind of get caught up in the mindset of you ain't doing nothing, but your reality is not reflecting that, right? Because all of us are in better places than we were, 2018, 2019, before the pandemic and everything. We all in better places.
For sure, man. Like one thing you said, about being humble and stuff, and like, you know, just some of the stuff you done accomplished, bro. Like sometimes it be to that point where you feel me, you don't want to be necessarily just humble all the time. It's like enjoy yourself and then congratulate yourself, on some stuff like that. Cause like like I listen to a lot of music and like that's one of my like languages I speak to like people in. So I was just thinking about like how Tyler Creator and stuff just like released his album. You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't never really heard like how he was just really like on this last album he wasn't really like you know like speaking like how he used to speak on his other albums. Like this one was more like
Mhm.
I'm talking my junk. I've been humble for too long. I'm talking like you feel me how he going in. You whether on his last
Mhm.
albums it was just kind of like smooth and soft and whatever. But on this one he just really talking his junk because he been humble for so long. And like a lot of us be like we being humble and stuff. Some of us it's like we got to talk our stuff sometimes, and it's cool, because it's a difference from being cocky, than being, I guess confident. But Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with that. Like sometimes you just gotta, congratulate yourself and the accolades that you've accomplished and stuff.
Because like I said, I completely agree, KJ, bro. Because like at least like for most guys, bro, like we only be getting like if we don't give ourselves the flowers while we alive, bro, the only time we gonna get it maybe is when we die.
And they
So
stink.
we gotta try to break that, man. Like I said, bro, we gotta break that. We gotta break that, man.
Yeah, man, ain't nothing wrong with celebrating your successes. Yeah, that's one thing we do gotta learn to do as men and for real as people, just in general. If you do something good, take time to celebrate it. Don't just move on to the next, because that's gonna weigh you down as that time go on.
Mm-hmm.
But see, the thing is, as a man, which I don't think it's good that it happens a lot of times, bro. We just used to, we having to pretty much put the team on your back and carry everything. We're not used to getting congratulated or getting any accommodation for anything that we do. You're brought up feeling like you just gotta handle business. Because I can just talk from my personal experience. My pops preached that to me from when I was a little boy until now. Like, bro, you gotta be on your shit. Ain't nobody else gonna help you. Ain't if you got a woman in your life or when you have a family or whatever, ain't nobody gonna help y'all get up out that rut. If it happens, you gotta own your shit and you gotta be able to get yourself out that situation too. But at the same time, even when that's going on, you gotta pat yourself on the back too, man. You can't sit up here and you just moving through and you just going by like, look, if you sitting out here and you about your business and you grinding and day in and day out, man, pat yourself on the back. You doing your shit. You doing what you're supposed to do. Just keep grinding and keep going, man. I'm like this right here. If you keep doing what you're supposed to, man, eventually it's gonna get to a point that everything is gonna work itself out. You're not gonna have to keep busting your ass each and every day as hard as you might be doing right now. Eventually it's gonna get to a point where you can get comfortable. But even in that comfortable state, keep grinding.
So
yeah. And that's also like, why I want to take the time just to like congratulate KJ on what he doing, man. Because like I said, I don't know who in your life KJ has told you like that they were proud of you for what you strive to do, bro. But I just want to make sure that you heard it from us here too. Because like I said, we know we all been in a situation you're doing good, but you may not hear be proud of you or congrats like really close to ever sometimes. So man.
Yo, big ups for you, my boy. Yeah, that's a big leap you taking, and I'm proud of you.
For real, I'm proud of you as being a big brother figure to you. I'm proud of you, and just keep going, keep doing
for
that
sure,
shit,
man. I appreciate it from all y'all, man. That's why, I was thinking to myself the other day, man, like how all of us met and stuff. That was supposed to happen, and I was just, I used to sit in my car and I think about stuff like that. I'd be like, when I was in college, bro. I thought I was gonna get some shady ass roommates, niggas that come in there and steal your stuff, just rummage you through your stuff and stuff. But I got some cool ass dudes and people that I can look at further in life and have a friendship and brotherhood with. So I was just like, man, from there to now and seeing what y'all doing and seeing like from y'all from there to now and just where y'all done, place yourself in life, it's like, dang, like y'all done grew, like y'all done became like, like great men, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like from seeing where y'all done came from you feel me, from foster to now. This way y'all like it's good, man. Like that, like I like to see that. So man, I appreciate that, and I'm glad to see y'all doing good too, man.
Yeah. We appreciate the love, KJ, and make you feel any better, man. We had you on about a good 2-month probation when you moved into that dorm with us, man. Make you feel
yeah, boy, because look, what we had to deal with before you, which we're not going to damn too much into this episode, but what we had to
I
deal with
remember the story, man.
before you, boy, you was on the probation status, because boy, that last situation we did, it was a head scratcher, to say the least. Look, I'm gonna hit y'all with a quote my mama used to say, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Boy, sometimes you meet people that scared of water.
Mm-hmm. But man, like I said, I'm loving all the positivity, man, we have it in this moment, bro. And it's making me think of just pretty much like kind of transitioning to another point where it's like talk about how all this positivity and this uplifting we have it as men, that our parents, our grandparents, that wasn't the norm really. And will you have any thoughts on pretty much like when it comes to standards of being a man, like kind of like that old school way of thinking of what a man is versus kind of the present day new school way of thinking of it? Because how I see it, like, I think about my parents, my grandparents, right? So my parents' generation was like, they showed love, but it was still like, I'm here for you, but unless you come to me with something, it's almost kind of like stiff arm a little bit, where it's like, at least like the dad situation. It's kind of like, I ain't going to just hug you just because you ain't been hugged today or something like that. My grandparents, my granddad is like the stoic old man pretty much, that like he ain't never talked about feelings. We ain't never talked about how each other was doing. His way of being a man and providing in his head was, like, he keep a roof over your head, food on the table, man. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. It's just where he was born. He was born in like 1945, 1946. That's just the old way of thinking of what manhood is. But how I look at it today now, like you see on social media, and I love seeing that so many people, especially as Black people, we are pushing that, tell your fellow people, like, you proud of them, take care of yourself, speak about how you feeling, man, because the world is already messed up enough as is, that you up here internalizing all that stuff, man. You doing nobody no favors, bro. You don't get no extra brownie points because you was up here and was just getting beat down through all your life and kept it to yourself, man. You ain't doing nobody any favors. And I love that now that we actually are more open and are talking about, how we feel about things and processing any of these issues we're going through so we can resolve them now and live longer, healthier lives.
Well, for me, how I feel, I'm like this. I agree with you 110% about the older generation. Just having those situations, even with my pops and his dad, and even like earlier in my childhood, with that, you got somebody that love you, but it's not like verbally expressed. They just kind of, like, I do this and that for you, so I love you. But I feel like the main reason that we see it now, which I'm loving to see, is that we as people in the world now, I feel like we address mental health in a better way. Because I can honestly say, just from my own childhood dealing with stuff, is like, it's difference between, somebody doing something, then they love you, and actually telling you that they love you. Because that means a lot. Like, that's letting me know that you have emotions, that you're willing to be vulnerable enough to tell me that. And I feel like that's great, especially for the kids growing up, to have that bond and connection with their parents and, other family members, just letting you know that I really care about you and I want you to be great.
100%. Yeah, you had hit on the topic I was gonna hit. I feel like today's generation, we address mental health a lot better than any previous generation. Because growing up, nobody tell you like, hey, you gonna have some sad times and you might get depressed. Like, it took me a moment to realize I was getting depressed. I had depression. Like, when I first moved out, left college, started living on my own, I didn't have like too much people or emotional contact with other folks. And it was just getting to me. I was just getting down. Like, I just hated. Like, I hated work. I hated going out. And, I just had to get out and start doing it. I had to first address it. Like, hey, Zay, I think these signs of depression. What can you do to fix it? I had to first find out that, hey, this could be depression. I had nobody told me like, hey, you might get depressed. This is what the signs it is, stuff like that. But now I think we're doing a better job of addressing it. But I do feel like the older generation had a better sense of camaraderie amongst its people. And the reason I say that is going back freshman year in college, our orientation class, the teacher, she had let us go to class 2 weeks before she brought up this question. Can you name 2 people sitting beside you? And I think only 3 people in that class had the answer. We don't take the time to engage in physical communication. It's all done over internet. So we can sit beside a person, say, hey, what's up? But we don't never learn their name. But back in the day, they used to do that. It used to be a sign of, hey, I mess with you. Good to meet you, something like that. We don't do that no more. I think we do need to improve on that, though.
Yeah, I agree. And to like pretty much like an earlier point being made, like how Boosie was saying, our generation, we do not be about suffering in silence anymore, which that's a generational curse, I believe, that we are breaking every year. And the whole thing about camaraderie, man, like I think like the older generation, I completely agree. They were way better with like pretty much having that sense of community, pretty much. But it's almost like that community kind of has shifted because of the digital age and stuff like that. But I think like older people are able to have the sense of community easier, but at what level is doing like as like how genuine it is and how deep it goes, I think we can actually be competing with them on that now.
Yeah, I do think we have deeper relationships, but I'm just going back. Like, man, I used to see my granddad. He'd have all these old cats come hang out, just sit in a circle, start talking. They weren't talking about feelings or how they going through life and that, but they'd be joking. They all knew like they past and relationships they had and stuff like that. Besides, y'all four, I don't got nobody else like that. But if you go, your dad, anything, corn, you say example, cornbread might know everybody in a 5-block radius.
Yeah.
But we probably know 4 folks in a 5-block radius. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, you talk about
that communication.
You talk about knowing the people in class. I'm thinking to myself, I didn't even know who my neighbors was about a year and a half of me staying where I'm at right now.
Yep.
You know your neighbors?
I don't really know mine. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I just Wade, how you doing? Is it?
Yeah, that's about it,
I
man.
can't even front to you. I can't tell you nobody that lives around me, bro. I ain't even gonna. But I feel like that's a part of now with it being, especially now in the heavily digital and social media engaged age, bro. It's like a lot of people don't really focus on trying to get to know people that's around them. You just more so you eat, whether it's on social media or you out and you meet somebody that you click with. People don't really focus on getting those in-person contact type of bonds, and I feel like it'll be helpful, especially for dealing with people that struggle with just having generalized conversations and whatnot. I feel like it'll be helpful.
That's like something that kind of I had to struggle with, because I like me online is me me online and me in person is two different people. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I'm still me, but like if I like around y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like I can be goofy and around myself, but like if I don't really know them too well, I ain't really gonna do all that. But like but that's one thing I had to kind of like learn how to do, is kind of just put myself out there and kind of talk and stuff like that. And once I started doing it, it became kind of like my natural instincts kind of took in, and I can just like kind of carry on a conversation a little bit like better than I used to could, because like I'd be like looking about slow, but like but like now I'm not even gonna lie, like I just be like you know what I'm saying, like I forgot that movie, like what it do, I can't remember what it was, but yeah, man. But back to what you were saying about like the older generation and stuff. Like, I get, I get how they show love, and I get how we show love and stuff like that. Like, it's just the way that they did it. Like, because I think about my daddy, for instance. Like, me and my dad didn't really start talking about mental health issues until like recently, like probably like the first time he seen me cry, he was just like, okay, it's something going on, like let me see what's up with him. Like, so like, you know what I'm saying, like we started talking and kind of getting like a little bit closer and stuff, on that tip. But like one thing I like about the older generation is like they're not gonna like it's a difference of how people play the mental health card, because like some people play it to where they just don't want to do anything, and they'll use the mental health card. Like, I got depression. Here's the depression card. Here's the anxiety card. Like, I got that, so I can't do it. The old generation gonna be like, F all that. You still gonna do it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know,
get your ass up,
like, for real. They gonna tell you to go in there and do it. And like, that, and then the now, people go online, they're like, whatever they say about it. But I feel like, you kind of, with the older generation and the new generation, it's gotta be like a line in between how you gonna talk and play that card, because like I said, like some people will take advantage of that and then and use that, when in reality you could just go up and get or do whatever you need to do. You don't have to play that card all the time.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I was thinking about like KJ, to one of your earlier points, man. I was thinking that, sometimes I think we as men, that, don't get me wrong, there is personal responsibility that to how we kind of interact with some things, but I feel like some of our reactions do kind of be more of a learned thing. Because like while you were talking, I had a flashback to being like middle school, right? And I remember being in Walmart with my dad, and I saw somebody I knew, and I was like waving them and flagging them down, like, hey, hey, hey. And I wanted to say hi because I saw him. And I thought I did nothing wrong. And I came back and he was like, I'm going to let that slide. But next time, bro, you can't be out here looking like you too desperate to see somebody. And at the time, I was very confused. I was like, I didn't think I did nothing wrong. But I took that because, he was my dad. I took that to heart. So, for like a string of like the next 5-10 years, I was like, okay, I'll see somebody in public, but they going to have to notice me first, because I ain't going to say that, because I ain't going to be out here looking desperate.
Like, I noticed when he was macking Monte, I had walked right by. He know I was there, but
hey, you gonna have to let me know you see me seeing you before I say something. And again, I done outgrew that, but again, like some of that stuff, like I didn't understand where he was coming from at the time. Again, because like that's your dad, you think he's telling you was supposed to be helpful, so you may internalize that, man. But
you got a point there.
Yeah, man. Like I said, it'd be interesting, man. But like, yeah, these conversations that we have, bro, I think also like the benefit of us being so connected as a generation when it comes to like understanding what manhood is that you get so many different ideas about it, right? That you have a ability to kind of like, oh, I like this idea. Well, I don't really like this idea. I probably shelf this conversation. You can, it's so many more avenues to take, which I think is beneficial.
Yeah, the acceptable view of a man has expanded 12-fold compared to what it was last generation. Dwayne Wade, as an example, dude be doing manicures and pedicures on a regular, but back then that wouldn't have been viewed as manly. But today,
it's
just
self-care. Like, you feel me? I feel like that's just a form of self-care,
Yeah.
and that's something like, what I'm saying. It took me like, just like the different women I came in contact with, just to be like, self-care. I ain't understand it, but I'm like, take care of your skin, take care of your nails, all that. I was just like, I mean, you should want to do that for yourself anyways, but it wasn't on the scale of now, because you wash our face and then put on deodorant, stuff like that. But some people, it's like you see a lot of people going to get like men now going to get like facials, getting they nails and different stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's kind of where it then took like a turn. It now men are starting to get on that level of like, I want to look good. You feel me? Like on some stuff like that. Like, you feel me? I'll go do that. That's how.
My boy Jack Harlow got a nail
it.
Like I said, I get it, bro. I understand, like, like the idea of manhood is becoming less rigid every year. And I mean, like I said, bro, we can agree, like, look, there could be some benefit, how KJ talk about self-care, take care of your skin, man. Look, it may have worked out, but look, we probably could all upgrade from, you up here not washing your face and your body with the same towel, but acting like the towel gonna forget you just wipe your ass yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I got you on that. I got you.
Yeah, because self-care to me, shit, for the longest being, god dang, hey, you take a shower, put deodorant on, get a haircut every 2 weeks. That's about it. That was the end of that.
Yep.
I just feel like a lot of that to deal with men, especially now, taking better care of themselves, is just just diving away from some of that toxic masculinity that I feel that arose when you feel like if you do anything out of the norm, motherfuckers gonna look at you a certain way. It's like, look, bro, Just because, pretty much like Montez said, just because I don't want to wipe my goddamn face with the same rag that I wiped my ass with, don't make me any different than you.
Mm.
Just, I'm like this right here. It's okay to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Just because you doing something different than somebody that views themselves as the most optimal or the most dominant man, that don't mean something. If you comfortable with yourself, your sexuality, and you as a man, fuck what anybody else's opinion is.
Because at the end of the day, man, Boosa, I feel like you were saying, bro, is that how we as millennials and Gen Z are looking at manhood, though, it gives you so much more breathing room just to be happy,
Yeah,
man.
that's
In
what
your
it all
life.
boiled down to.
Yeah.
It's like whatever you do, like however you choose, how self-care can mean anything. Playing the game, however you do it, like you just look at it in a different type of way. Like whatever makes you happy, that's what you do at the end of the day. Whatever you can come home to and chill, whether you come play the game, you feel me, work on you some stuff, work out, whatever you want to do, whatever make you happy, that's your self-care. True, that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I got you, man. I got you, man. All good points, man. But I see we starting to run a little bit low on time, so I'm gonna do a little wrap up point for y'all, man, and kind of be like our closing remarks. So, y'all have any advice about anything about manhood or any kind of trials and tribulations that you normally go through in your life or just throughout life that anybody can experience? Anything you want to leave with the people, man, you feel like can help them out? Go ahead, let them know.
So I go. Man, like for real, like if you know on your journey to manhood, it's gonna hit you at different ages. Like mine hit me at 25. Some people don't mature until they really in their late 20s. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, but really, man, your late 30s.
Shit,
Some
late
it's
30s.
people out here 26 still doing crazy stuff, but that's neither here nor there. But at the same time, man, like you you gotta you gotta you got to make sure, man, you stay prayed up out here. You got to make sure that you really just focused in on stuff, got your money together, bro. That's like a big thing. Like financial literacy is real. Get your bread together, man. Get your mental and spirit right. Like I ain't even gonna lie, it took me a minute just to really kind of get into my spiritual side. So it's like once I started doing that and started praying a lot more and doing different things like that, I started to, see a difference in my life, man. So whatever religion, whatever spiritual type of things you do, bro, do that and be sure, and keep praying and just be sure that you're gonna make it. Keep faith. And like if you going to college or whatever and stuff like that, man, be sure that you wanna go. And then if you are there, don't be like me. You feel me? Like, handle your stuff. Like, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Handle y'all stuff. Like, if you there, and it's a lot of ways that you can go for free. It's a lot of stuff that you can and make connections out there. Make connections. That's one thing I hate. I didn't do. I made connections with some good people in college, and some I didn't. I feel like I should have made connections with. But that's one thing I say, man. Just handle your business. Stay prayed up. Keep God in your life.
Well, that's all I'm gonna say. For just a little piece of advice. Try to grow and be a better person each and every day because it's hard. It's hard to be a man out here, especially in today's time with everything going on. Just try to make a step each day to become a better person. Be the best version of yourself that you can be. Also, be aware about mental health. It's okay to have a moment. It's okay to break down. It's okay to be pissed or whatever. You ain't gotta be strong 24/7. You can have a moment of weakness, but be aware of your mental health. Just take steps to be a better person and be a better man, and just be happy. That's one thing I'll say. Don't sit up here and try to do whatever everybody else wants you to do. Just try to be the best version of yourself and let the cards fall where they fall.
Yeah, true enough. But this is my little tidbit of advice. Don't let outside opinions decide what you do in your life. That's the biggest thing right there. And build a good support system around yourself. Build a core group like these 3 guys I got around me. This is a core group. I can reach out if something wrong, and they hit me back like, "Hey, bro, this is what I would do in that situation." Again, that's an outside opinion, but these coming folks that I love personally. I'll take note and see if I can improve upon myself. Also, try to set a role model. Somebody, even be family, friend, or actor, celebrity, don't matter. Just find certain things they do that you want to improve on in yourself. Like going back to that camaraderie thing, I just think us as a generation need to improve on our interpersonal skills. And me, I was an introvert in college. I ain't gonna lie, I'm an introvert now. KJ, I thought you was the social butterfly of the group. I didn't think you would have any problems interacting with people. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I felt the same.
Yeah, same.
But they're just growing over the couple of years. I learned to speak my mind, because if you don't, people will run over you, walk over you. No problem at all.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, I guess I'll say like my last point, man, is that for anybody listening, if you are just like thinking about your personal journey to becoming a man, I would say it would help that think about your coming of age more as a journey than a destination. Once I changed my mindset about that, it became so much easier, because I would have male mentors in my life, and they would tell me about all the stuff they did right, the stuff they did wrong. And I would take all that in, and I would kind of self-reflect on my life and be like, man, I want to be able to do this, but I haven't done this and stuff like that. But again, it's all a journey. Even the places where you're messing up, it's going toward who you're trying to become tomorrow, man. And you have to, at least for me, I had to really realize that as much as I'm trying to live my life the best I can, mistakes are going to be part of it. And it's not so much what the mistake is, it's how you're going to recover from it. Because that whole saying about what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, I do believe that. And if people get more comfortable with understanding that, for me to become the best version of myself, I may fall a couple times, but as long as I get up, I'll be right at the end of the day. I feel like that's the one thing you keep in the back of your head, anything you're making, man. Like, whether that be school, your career, relationship, anything you're trying to go forth and conquer on in your life, man, just keep in your mind, man, that like it's all part of the plan. It's a journey, not a destination. But I'd like to thank everybody for listening to this week's episode. Everybody stay blessed.
For sure.
Oh yeah, KJ, before I forget, man, you want to plug your socials with me? Let the people know where they can find you.
Oh yeah, plug them.
For sure, man. Hey, man, make sure y'all go follow me on Instagram, Made by Kylan. That's why I got all my artwork and different stuff on there. My rugs, y'all go hit me up on there. My personal page, K2nd_. That's my other Instagram page. And go follow me on TikTok, man, at Keezus the God, KeeZusThegod. Facts.
RTFG fam, thanks for tuning in this week. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace. And on that note, we'll be wrapping up this week's episode. It's been a pleasure chilling with you all, and we hope to have you back next week. As always, stay chill, stay real, and most importantly, stay RTFG.